This public model documentation does not constitute financial advice. Leverage above 10 is strictly prohibited, and individuals should never invest essential personal funds. This chart details the initial phase of market DNA cycle DJ30-4 for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, capturing the starting position at exactly 15:45 GMT on March 6, 2026. The mean entry is established at $47,217.40, derived precisely from the median of primary entry M and secondary entry PC. At this first phase, the model sets the trapezoid time duration variable to exactly 14 days. The geometric spatial variable, defined as the third triangle domain, is locked at 3.86%. Multiplier constraints for this cycle dictate a risk coefficient of 1 and a standard contract size of 10 units. These multipliers apply to a foundational risk framework based on a hypothetical capital amount of $100,000, with the expected maximum drawdown strictly capped at 5%, or $5,000. Applying these parameters sets the expected low price boundary at exactly $45,395. These initial arithmetic boundaries determine the exact mathematical constraints of the geometric cycle before any forward price movement occurs. Applying the core constraints yields an overall position size calculated at 0.27. The required each trade size metric is set at exactly 0.13. Both trade sizes are calculated using the hypothetical capital, the investor's maximum allowed drawdown, the third triangle domain percentage, the risk coefficient, and the contract size. The model outlines three distinct structural targets. Target 1, aligning with the mirror or lower trapezoid level, sits at $47,633. Target 2, situated at apex N, is plotted at $48,346. The final expected structural boundary, Target 3, at the trapezoid top, is plotted at $49,035. Based on these levels, Scenario 1 projects an expected total profit of $1,961, assuming a final exit entirely at Target 3. Scenario 2 forecasts an expected total profit of $3,830 by executing tiered exits at both Target 2 and Target 3, setting the primary numerical benchmark for the final audit. This updated chart documents the transition into Phase 2, with the timeline advanced to April 7, 2026 at 22:35 EST. Chronologically, the primary position was filled first at $44,817.90 along the M level. The market subsequently dropped, fulfilling the secondary position requirement precisely at the PC level. Upward price movement approaching the N level then generated an initial safety buffer balance of $1,271. The system registered a corresponding mathematical adjustment, shifting the structural risk boundary up to $44,805. The price eventually physically touched the trapezoid lower boundary at Target 1, fulfilling the $47,633 threshold. Crossing this boundary finalized Phase 2, releasing half of the open positions and increasing the working safety buffer to $1,811. By April 14th at 0950 EST, the visual record shows the cycle firmly entering Phase 3. The price continued its climb vertically away from the Target 1 boundary, moving upward toward the end price level designated as Target 2. The asset exactly struck the Target 2 milestone at $48,346. Contact with this apex triggered a safe exit, automatically releasing half of the remaining positions. This action secured an additional $573, pushing the total safety buffer to $2,384 and pulling the structural risk boundary up to $44,377. With the open position size strictly reduced to 0.06, Phase 3 concluded, leaving only the final upper boundary target to resolve the cycle. This final chart updates the chronological timestamp to April 17, 2026 at 9:30 EST. Following the safe exit, the price maintained an upward trajectory straight toward the trapezoid upper boundary. The asset successfully arrived at the Target 3 limit, fulfilling the final constraint at $49,035. The system immediately executed its closeout parameters, liquidating all remaining open positions and fully releasing the accumulated safety buffer. Fulfilling this exact coordinate physically resolved the structural parameters of cycle DJ30-4. A final audit confirms the physical market movements adhered precisely to the modeled scenario 2. The expected total profit was $3,830. Upon closure, the actual realized profit recorded was $3,474. The expected return on capital was projected at 3.83%, mapping closely to a final realized return of 3.474%. Over the lifespan of the cycle, the absolute lowest price experienced registered at $44,811. While the expected maximum drawdown was capped at -5%, the realized drawdown calculated to just -2.41%. The expected trapezoid time duration was modeled at 14 days, whereas the realized time duration to hit all targets took 42 days. As final measurements resolve, the fractal mechanics of the underlying model dictate that a new, independent structural cycle will immediately begin at Phase 1 parameters. This concludes the performance audit and strict geometric documentation for the cycle.